Property Patriot, you are cleared hot.
Good morning and welcome to the AMI podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bud Evans, joined by the beautiful and talented Kimmy Hansen. Morning, Kimmy.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. How was your Christmas?
Oh my gosh, I got so spoiled.
Did you? Really? Nice.
Yeah, I did. I got literally everything that I thought I wanted and a bunch of stuff that I didn't know I needed, but now have found a use for. I don't know. When you grow up, and I have siblings, right? But for lack of a better term, my parents really treat me like an only child because I'm the only sibling that comes around and stuff. And it was very evident this year at Christmas for my stepkids and Justin. And it was so funny because at one point, I get it now. I get it now. We have this huge dinner at my mom's, and my mom really is the star of the show, making everything happen. But it was just more than gifts and presents and stuff. It was just a different pace this year, and I definitely welcomed it. It was slower. It was easier to manage, which was necessary coming on the heels of Ellie and I being delayed in Phoenix we were in the airport for 5 hours last Friday. It was rough. Hey, good morning, Zena. I know. I've never been delayed from Phoenix to Everett. And for some reason, that's what happened. How was your Christmas?
It was good. Very exhausting though. I drove like 7 hours in 3 days. I wound up going up we had our party here on the 23rd. Then we drove up to Staten Island for Christmas Eve with Stephanie's sister's house, and then came down here and then went up to Doylestown.
Oh, yeah.
Hang out with my son's in-laws. They're awesome people. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday, right? Guys, if you are here for news, you are in the wrong place. We are just two friends sitting around drinking coffee and talking about real estate stuff that happened. And we're doing it very badly, and you might catch a dad joke or two. So please don't take us seriously. If you do, it's just not. I don't take myself seriously.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't even take ourselves seriously at all.
I drink out of a sippy cup, crying out loud, and I still spill it on myself. I'm like a child.
I have to tell you, I know you still see my Christmassy office, but this is the last week for it. Next week, it'll all be back to normal. I actually traded in my Yule Fuel cup this week, and even my typical Friday cup that says probably not coffee. This cup is legit, like as big as my head. And nice. I just need all the caffeination today. It's just been a long 2-week stretch.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I've been feeling a little under the weather this week. Not super sick, but just no energy.
Yeah, watch out for that. There's a bunch of crap going around.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're joining us, check out StreamYard.com/Facebook. Please enter your information so that we don't see you as Facebook user. Also, I'm just going to put this out there. #sponsored by Upright. Link is in the show notes. Please go ahead and sign up for it. If you are doing deal analysis and you are using other software products, you can do bar analysis. You can do rehab analysis. It's got a rehab tracker in there. You can upload actual URLs to keep your rehab estimator up to date. And it does that automatically, by the way. As prices change, it updates your rehab estimator. Does your deal analysis for you, gives you an MAO. It's fantastic. I honestly, I'm not just saying this because they're like, because we're affiliated now, but no, it's actually, I used it, which is the reason I reached out and asked them for the affiliate link. So that, it's fantastic. And coincidentally, the person who turned me on to that was Jen Josie. And I'm just going to show this real quick because, Kimmy, there are a couple of big things that are happening here. Let's see here. First and foremost, we are looking at a new networking group, which is, let's see here. Where is it? Oh, share screen. Awesome. And then where is it? I don't know how to do this. Share screen. And then there we go. Window. And then share. All right. We are seeing it. All right. Look. So REI is working in conjunction with Aim High REI to bring you the REI Roundtable. It is literally a networking event that will occur every Tuesday at 9 a.m. where we will be coming together, think of it like, look this up. Look up GoBundance, but I'm not saying we're GoBundance for crying out loud, but what I am saying is that you're not going to have to pay like a huge upfront. There is a monthly fee with this. Introductory rates will apply for the next month, the whole month of January. So sign up early, sign up often, check it out. Or you can just go to budevans.com. And then up in the right-hand side, there is the REI Roundtable, and then you can learn more and sign up. It is networking and growth. How many times do we say it, Kimmy? Network is your net worth, right?
We say it almost every week, I think.
Yes, absolutely. That being said, jig that. I know we have several people that are already signed up for it. So please, by all means, check it out. The more people that you get. So essentially we walk in, we do a 10-minute intro, and then it is breakout sessions for almost an hour. So you're going to meet new people. You're going to talk about what your goals are, and then we're going to hold each other accountable for those goals week to week. So I just made a post about this, Kimmy, about why New Year's resolutions are trash.
Yeah.
Right? They are absolute trash. And they usually fall off the radar at about 20, 21 days in, about 3 weeks in. But if you have an accountability group and people that you're talking to and you're setting your goals accordingly, and they're time-based, not going to talk about SMART goals, I love them, right? But here's the thing, like you set your goals and then we work through them together as a unit. And Jen and I will be co-hosting, and we will be jumping from breakout session to make sure that everybody stays on track.
Yeah, I think when I looked at your post, actually, I just saw it earlier this morning, and I was thinking about what does it mean to set a goal? I'm not talking about a resolution. Okay. So when Bud and I are talking about goals, neither one of us are actually big on resolutions at all, because a resolution is a resolve to do something differently than you did.
And for all you people who clog up my gym for the first 6 weeks of the year, go to hell, please. Just don't do it. I really like my workouts the way they are. And you know what? Go ahead and sign up, and then just don't go from now, because all the people that are like, I'm going to work out all the time and blah, blah, blah. I've been working out since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you're all about starting and you want to start today, go to the gym on the 29th and go sign up, and then just go and get control of yourself.
That was going to be what I said, Bud, is just don't wait for a date on the calendar or a time on the clock or a day of the week. Just go today. Do it now.
You want to really motivate yourself, Kimmy? This is what you do. Okay. You go like this. Hey, I want to run a marathon, right? Don't call it a New Year's resolution. Sign up for the doggone marathon, put it on your calendar, and then give yourself that amount of time to exercise. Then backtrack and get a training program that amount of time, and then do the doggone training program. Don't just go, I'm going to go to the gym every day and run on the treadmill, and I'm going to run a marathon. That's not how this works. You got to start with your first step. But Lao Tzu said it, right? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take the first step, but don't call it a New Year's resolution. Just start today.
It is so true, Bud. And I'm actually somebody who got up one day and said, yes. I said, I'm going to start running. And I did it because, this was in the month of July. So this would have been, oh my gosh, way back in 2016. Yeah, it's like 6-7 years ago now. And I just decided one day that it's so funny that you just put that up there because I'm looking for something that I wanted to share with everybody. I was going to share my screen, and this is not a resolution. Okay. So this is where I was at the time. And I just decided I needed to change. And what I needed to do was to change not just how I used my body in terms of athletic exercise, because I was exercising, I would work out, but I wouldn't always break a sweat. And the food that I was putting into myself to fuel my body, it just wasn't good. It was just, you don't realize how crappy you feel until you change what you do. And then you're like, oh, I could feel this good all the time. And that is exactly what it was. So for me,
best friends. Yup. You want to do karate in the garage? Yup.
Yup. For sure. Yes. So I'm going to share a picture But this is my journey. On the far left, that's
Oh my
me.
word.
In 2016, I was it wasn't over, but I was pushing 200 pounds. And then in the middle, that's me in 2018. And while I felt really good about myself, I was really actually not very healthy. I started having a lot of soft tissue injuries, and I was in physical therapy because I was eating for weight loss, not for running. And at the time, that year, I think it was 2017 or 2018, I can't remember which, I ran like 15 to 17 half marathons, so 13.1 miles. And when you're running like that, when you're doing that level of cardio and activity and everything, it's impossible for your body to sustain what you need and fuel yourself properly if you're eating for weight loss. So while I felt really good and I felt like I looked really good, I just wasn't healthy. And then the far right is me in 2020. And this is all the same shirt, by the way, all the way
wow.
across the screen. Yeah. I still have the shirt too. I just kept it because I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. But the long story short, Bud, is just start somewhere. I started, and you can look at my Instagram. This is on my Instagram. Bud did put my link up there. It is SEW fast _8. And this is a post from a long time ago. I think 175 weeks ago or something like that. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to share that because I didn't start on January 1st. I didn't start on day one of Q3 of whatever. I started like July 27th or something like that. And I will say I've learned a lot since then, but I've carried what I did through, and I've had to change some stuff. But after, I think 7+ years of having a protein shake for breakfast every morning, I'm finally burnt out on it. I cannot do it every day anymore. I can't. So I've shifted what I do in the mornings. I do eggs too. That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
And you can there's so many different ways to make eggs. It's
yeah.
I've made a custard before.
A custard. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's almost like a creme brulee, except it's eggs.
Ugh. I don't see I'm not making the connection. But good for you. Oh, cream. Yeah. So cream and me are not bros most of the time. We are just not bros. But all that to say, you look at where I came from. 2016, super unhealthy.
I'll flash you later.
I just think it's the same in real estate. I started with thinking, I want to flip houses like those people on HGTV.
Oh, good.
And lo and behold, I started in a mentorship that taught me how to do that. But that's actually not my primary exit strategy. My primary exit strategy is short-term and medium-term rentals. And I just pivoted. I learned along the way, right?
At breakfast, why do pancakes love baseball?
Oh,
they have the best batter.
But that was good. That was a good one.
I got enough. You know what? It's been a slow news week. You know why? Because most news agencies, guess what they're doing? They're talking about stories that happened in 2023.
Yeah. So we are going to do the same thing.
Because why not? Right? Hey, look, if you're watching up to this point, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching after the fact, thank you very much. Once this is done today, it will be posted to the AMI podcast on all of your favorite platforms to listen to podcasts. And then, of course, it's on YouTube all the time. So check us out. Yeah. So that being said, last week's will be posted at 11:30 today. So
yes.
What was your favorite story of 2023?
Oh my gosh, my favorite story. It's actually not the ones that had me holding my crystal ball all the time. It was not these ones. It was expansion tax in California because it led to so many changes in the real estate sphere in California. And we saw a lot of activity in the market as a result of the announcement of the impending doom of the mansion tax. And I felt like it just lit me up with excitement to see what was going on in California. And living up here in Washington State, Washington and California really mirror each other in a lot of ways, other than we don't obviously have LA here, right? And people joke that we have a Palm Springs of Washington. I just don't really buy into it, but whatever. But in terms of what's going on in real estate and in terms of tax revenue, a lot of what Washington and California do are very similar. And I loved seeing what was going on before the mansion tax, like all of the anticipation leading up. Yeah, that was my favorite story of the year.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Yeah. You know what? Sticking along those same lines, I'm going to tell you, it was the billionaire stories that we did all year long on the houses and where they're located. So that's one of the things that we've done pretty much like bi-weekly we've thrown in there, like the Jeff Bezos purchase is in Indian Creek, which has 84 people. It's an island just off of Miami. And it's Norman Brayman, the former owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, and Tom Brady all live there. And so he bought a $68 million mansion and built a $79 million one next door.
That was
he needs
a
two
golden
homes.
story.
He needs two homes. But also that Beyonce and Jay-Z built a $200 million mansion in California.
Right. Yeah.
Look, California is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. And I guess if you got more money than God, you can actually pay that mansion tax when you decide to leave or sell it. But at $200 million, it took over 10 years to build. I'm guessing that's why, because they didn't have to deal with the mansion tax when they started. And then they were like, we already spent $200 million. We might as well keep it.
I just think we've talked about this before, right? When you just have filthy money and you don't have to think about anything. It just, they didn't care about the mansion tax. They were like, whatever. We're not worried about it. Because remember, the mansion tax only impacted those who were going to buy or sell after a certain date. And caution to the wind. We have all the money to do with what we want. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be on that level.
Listen, I'll just be happy if I can. I'm not working anyway, but if I can never work again, that would be really cool. And just, you know what? I'd still work. Who am I kidding? Who are we kidding? If you're into real estate, the journey is just so awesome that you never want to actually hit a destination. When you get to a certain point, you're like, I did that. Let's do a little bit more. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
It's leveling up. It's constantly leveling up. And it's also not stopping yourself short before you even get started. In fact, we've got an example in the comments here. Zena is also talking about weight loss and how she started in August and she's lost 50 pounds. She doesn't like New Year's resolutions. Zena, I would also venture to guess, and I'm not guessing, I'm saying it. This is how you are in business too. You just do things. You just take the leap. You just get started. There's no minimizing a date or a month or a time of the year. Just go, just get it. That's it.
And hey, caps on. What's up, yes, sir? My brother from another mother, lives down the street.
Yeah. Saying I need to just come out to Jersey and surprise y'all.
Hey, listen, you'd be surprised at how many people, you know what? No, you wouldn't. How many people live in this state?
I would not be surprised at all.
No, you would not. No, you wouldn't. But like a lot of the people that I have contact with, I'm all over the U.S. I know a lot of people everywhere. Obviously, the concentration is going to be where I live.
Definitely.
Like Devin, I'll be talking to her today. We're going to be. I've got to get my Devin fixed for the week because I haven't spoken to her in a few weeks since her birthday. So happy birthday, Devin. Hey, and shout out to John Harrington, who's actually sitting in a hospital right now getting chemo. Yeah, he and I went to high school together and we've kept in touch pretty much ever since. So good luck, buddy. You got this. Cancer sucks. That's a hashtag.
Right? Yeah, that is a hashtag.
Yeah. And listen, if you are sitting in a hospital and listening to us, your day probably sucks. At least, hopefully we're bringing a little bit of joy and a little bit of a smile to somebody's face, but.
Yes. Yeah, that's our goal. But I know, and this is a good day to talk about this because this is our last live stream of the year. What we started with was you and I having almost weekly chats about real estate, what we were each doing, where we were looking to scale or level up or whatever, and talking about constant improvement. I think overall that was really what the theme was. And at some point you were like, hey, why don't we live stream this? And I was like, hey, no, why would we do that? Nobody would ever watch it. And you were like, let's just see. Maybe there's one or two people out there. And lo and behold, there's actually, I think we were pushing 800 people one week.
Yeah. Hey, Kimmy, listen, we started out with 5 people in the REI. Now we're almost 600 people in the REI. So we're streaming there. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on YouTube. We're getting views. We're getting traction. At some point in time, people are actually going to do what we ask them to do and send us stuff you want to hear about, because we'd love to do the research and actually talk about it. So, yeah.
I actually have to give Zena a shout out. Zena did it. Zena reached out to me through the Aim High REI group, and she was like, hey, let's get together and chat. Let's network a little bit. And we did. And it was just like a 30-minute networking call. And through that networking call, she identified a property that she wanted to put an offer on. It was going to be a short-term rental. And we walked through the basics of the numbers. And I even brought the babe in to help Zena and I make sure that we were on the same page. And Zena put in an offer. Oh, look, and here she is.
Yeah.
Look at all these lessons. She's got a flip that turned into an LTR, and then a second flip that was a loss, but she learned from it. She grew from it. Yeah. And that call that we had actually led to a lot of action being taken, because Zena and I were able to help each other and see where we could both do better, not just for ourselves and our families, but for our businesses.
And listen, don't think that it doesn't happen to everybody. We did 30 this year, and 2 of them were really bad. They were really bad. One of them is still ongoing. It's going to take us into 2024. But once we get rid of that, it clears the way. We've already alerted our acquisitions team in Pittsburgh that we'll be picking up again. Bring it on, right? Ground floor lending, James McCown. Thanks, buddy. Let's go. Evan August. Let's do it. Let's go, boys. Here we go. It is what it is. We're going to hit it, right? My goal is another 10 personally and another 30 overall.
Love it.
And then the property management group. But I look at it this way, guys. It happens to be that Q1 starts in January, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking at the end of quarter 3 because it's just time. My quarter 4 goals for 2023 flow into the quarter 1 goals for January. So we are looking at having 100 doors under management in 2024, right? For the property management. Yeah,
and that goal is specific, measurable, attainable. Yeah. It's all the things.
I've got it broken down on the board over here.
You have to have that.
It is what it is, right?
But to be totally honest with you, all of us are going through stuff. Look at this. Zena, she's in the hospital right now. She's literally listening to us from a hospital. And here's Bud's SMART goals. Zena is here to see that Bud uses goals to drive where his business goes. You guys, this is why we're here. I never would have thought all these months later that we would still be here on Friday mornings, bringing to you all the not news in the worst ways. But honestly, it's been such a fun year. Let's just keep going with it. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
There you go. And hey, Zena's in the hospital right now. My goodness. Hey, miles here.
I know.
For your kid, here's one. What has 4 wheels and flies?
Okay. Verbs versus nouns. I see what you did there. That was a good one. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's what is coming back. My crystal ball. It's my crystal ball, and it has a prediction for 2024 that 2024 is going to be the best year ever for my business. I just think it is.
Until 2025.
Until next year. It's going to be the best year yet, right? I'm predicting it. I'm speaking it into existence, and that is magic. When my crystal ball is present and we speak something into existence, it's definitely magic. Oh, and Yasser here. Oh, thank you, Yasser. Yasser's saying he's giving me a shout out for being a boss and calling foreclosure homeowners. But before, and I'll continue to say it, I ever wanted to do in life is just to help people. When I went to college and I was going through the admissions process for my second degree, the admitter was like, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. I just want to help people. And I said, what major can you put me in to do that? And she was stumped. She was like, so she's here's your options. And they were like, no joke, like 47 different options at this school. Actually, it's a pretty prestigious school, University of Washington. And so I was like, I want to do this one.
They're the ones that are in the playoffs right now. Is that?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
But not to sidetrack us, but there was a lot of speculation that we could not beat the Ducks twice in a row in the same season. And guess what? We did it.
Yeah.
West Side. We did it. And I got there at UW. I will always cheer for them. I've always been a Husky fan. But the foundation was, we're going to give you the tool. They gave me the Lincoln logs, right? But I had to build the cabin. And so the cabin that I built was a double major and a minor. And the degree is only the degree. Like, it's what I did with it that mattered. And so I ended up working in human resources, which I've loved, honestly. But I can help so many more people in real estate. I don't know how many times a week I say this. And that's why I'm calling people that are facing pre-foreclosure and foreclosure to see what I can do to help. It's not just a lead. It's not just a deal. It's never about the house. I've heard it so many times, and it's so true. There's something else going on.
Have you ever seen It's Not About the Nail? Check it out on YouTube. Oh. Look it up. It's not about the nail. It is the difference between men and women's communication methods.
I've seen it, the nail in the middle of the foot. She just wants to be hurt, right? Yeah.
But it's pulling on all my sweaters. If I could just.
It's not. It's about being heard. Everybody wants to be heard. Actually, I'm going to shout out the captain right back, because he sent me a message this morning that said, hey, watch this. And it was a preview of a masterclass for Chris Voss. And if you don't know who Chris Voss is, he is an incredible negotiator. He's a hostage negotiator for the FBI, and he's written a book, and he's just an incredible individual all around. And essentially, when I watched it, I was just reminded of how never spoke with that. Yep, right here. Diane, thanks, Diane, for putting that in the chat for us. And to highlight it, it's not just never splitting the difference. He talks about, and this is like a 2-minute video on his website for masterclass, just basically listening to people. People want to be heard. They deserve to be heard. And remember, this is an FBI hostage negotiator. He negotiates with the worst of people. And he still says, no, what they're saying, they still have value. And if you really listen, you can pull out bits that will matter, mirror them, and get them to talk more so that you can save the hostages and overall win, right? Just by giving them an opportunity to talk. Yeah.
And the words that they use, the specific words that they use. Pay attention to that. Alicia, what's going on?
Good morning.
Yeah. So
I just love seeing all the comments. It makes me feel like I get the warm and fuzzies from seeing all the people that jump into the chat and watch us live, and even the people that watch us later after the fact. This is why we started doing this. This is why I agreed to do it, because, and I just said this to Yasser a few days ago. What if the one person who's part of your goal that you want to help, what if they're in this group, this area, this part of the world, whatever, and you don't know because you're not exposed there. You don't have exposure in that area. This
just
is why
watch when you're exposing yourself.
Oh,
don't do that 100 feet away from a school.
But I swear.
Sorry, you brought it up. I'm just out there making sure that everybody's aware.
Okay. You're right. I did go there. Yeah, Yasser took the word out of my mouth. Bruh. Bruh. There's all these phrases that teenagers have. Somebody sent me a reel on Instagram. It was they're making fun of like teenagers that don't really speak English anymore. Like he calls his mom bruh. I can tell you right now that if I ever even thought about calling my mom bruh,
my dad would slap me today.
Last time that I had an individual thought. Yes.
He's 80 and he would slap me.
Yep.
Wouldn't hurt anymore. I'd probably still hurt. He's still bad.
But it's this whole bruh, you're doing too much. Bruh, you're doing too much. And I was just like, what does that mean? Doing too much? I've literally never heard that before. And if somebody dares to say it to me, you're going to be sorry, because I'm just going to go and do more. I'm going to level up. I'm going to keep scaling my business. I'm going to keep killing it. I was watching it. I was like, that is hilarious. have Phoenix, the timekeeping cat, underneath me here.
Oh yeah. But listen, when I howled, you should have seen Rosie's face.
Oh,
We are transitioning down. If you are still watching at this point, thanks for hanging around. If you're watching after the fact, we really appreciate you checking us out. It's what it is, guys. Look for the Aim High REI and REIN collaboration, the REI Roundtable, coming to you on January 9th. Sign up now at buddevans.com. Jump in there and get ready to network. It is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
So, Kimmy, the end of 2023, the next show will be next year.
it
Right?
will. It will be
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah. Kimmy, we're gonna wrap this up. You ready?
Love it.
Awesome. Guys, if you like what you're hearing and you're getting some value, do us a favor, share this group with other people and budding real estate investors. Check out the Aim High podcast at theaimhighpodcast.com on Apple Music or Spotify or any other platform that you may be listening to for additional content and interviews with industry experts. And don't forget to tag your friends in these videos, because guess what? You may not know it, but you could be helping them to a future of non-reliance on a W-2 job. No kidding. Ask me how I know. Hashtag it. Right. I did not do that. Heck. Oh my goodness. I'm not there. Wait, I gotta go. Hey. There we go. I get quicker with it is what it is. Thank you all for watching and making 2023 fantastic. Thank you, Lay, our incredible producer who has brought us to another level, and Ron, who keeps me in check. For Kimmy Hansen, my co-host from the West Coast, I am Bud Evans, host of the Aim High podcast. Until the next time, aim high. Thanks for being a part of the Aim High community. Your support drives us to create valuable content, and we can't wait to see your success stories in real estate investing. Till next time, aim high, never stop learning. Bud Evans, signing off. We'll see you soon.